Hello, my name is Mary Kruse. I'm a freshman here at K-State. I'm from Wichita, Kansas. In my first semester here at K-State, I took a class called Great Books with Professor Greg Eiselein. And I fell in love with this class because Greg was so passionate about his work. He was always finding great ways for us to be involved in the class, and one of those ways was bringing the actor that portrayed Shylock in the play Merchant of Venice to class to participate with the students. And so it is my honor tonight to introduce Greg, and he'll be talking about student success in the first year of college.
Hey everyone. I was in my first year of graduate school when I started to try to read Heidegger's Being in Time, and I can't say that I really understood all of it, but I took away one big lesson. See, Heidegger thinks that we're all kind of thrown into this fallen world where we have to confront the possibility of the meaninglessness of our existence, that it all might be one big, huge nothing. You gotta love existentialism. I do. I think it's great. One way to respond to this is to freak out in some kind of super angsty way. Another way is just to try to ignore it and follow the crowd like a mindless zombie, do what everybody else does. But a third option, the one that Heidegger recommends, is care. He recommends that we care about something beside ourselves, or alongside, this is the word he uses, alongside ourselves. Care happens when we care about something, and that something is something that we see as a whole, as something that's connected to other things in its world. For example, when we start to think about students as complete, whole human beings, not as a part, not as academic work to be graded, but as distinct individuals with complex lives, that's care, according to Heidegger. Now, I don't think that public research universities have traditionally cared very much about first-year students in this way that Heidegger talks about. Part of the issue, I think, is that these campuses are large, and it's easy to get lost among all the possible options on a college campus. I think another issue is the lecture. We enroll lots of first-year students in these large lectures, and the research is really clear about this. They're not as effective as more interactive formats. They just aren't. Students perceive these classes as less rigorous. They're not often, but they perceive them as less rigorous, which causes them to work with less enthusiasm, less engagement, less concentration on the classes. Faculty have difficulty motivating students in large lectures, so that's what faculty often report. And a lot of these courses they emphasize facts rather than higher level skills like communication or invention, creativity, performance, design. Now, this is, by the way, this is MIT's edX. It's their gigantic MOOCs, and you probably know MOOCs are cool, but they have disastrous failure rates. It's something like 90 to 97% of people who enroll in an online course, these massive online open courses, they fail. So why are we so attached to the lecture? I think part of it is tradition, it's custom, it's habit, and I think part of it's money. We see cost savings here, but I don't know really if we're saving that much. Universities have staggering attrition rates. You probably know most of these facts, that over half of the students who start a four-year college degree program, half of them won't complete it, or over half. Things are a little bit better at K-State, but that's not great, right? About 25% of the average freshman class at a public research university will drop out in that first year. Again, things are a little bit better at K-State, but it's not great. There's K-States. The cost of this attrition is high. It's very high. I think in particular of the students. Now, this chart just shows probably what you all know, which is that education pays. The more education you have, the higher your lifetime earnings will be. And if you get a master's degree, a doctorate, it's going to increase. And it cushions us from unemployment as well. People with less than high school, far more unemployed. The red line there is the average. Far more unemployed than people with bachelor's degrees. Here's who I'm worried about, are these folks. These folks that borrow money, take on student debt to come to college. They use some of their parents' money. They work hard and pay an opportunity cost to be at college, and then they leave here with no degree. They leave without the degree that's going to give them that greater earning power over the course of their life. I think this is a problem, and I think we need to fix it. One of the ways of thinking about why do students leave, I think the traditional one is like, well, those students couldn't hack it. They just couldn't take college. They weren't ready for it. Yeah, attrition is costly, but it's the student's fault, not ours. But if you interview students about 6 months after they leave and ask them, well, why did you leave college? They don't say, I couldn't hack it, usually. Sometimes they do. They usually say, my college didn't care about me. They treated me poorly. I couldn't get the classes that I wanted, and I just decided it wasn't worth it. The bad news here is this is sad. The good news here is that I think we can fix all of this. And I think part of the solution here is going to be the adoption of engaging, high-impact learning practices. The kind of learning practices that involve students in their own education, that are proven to work, that research shows us how well they work, and that ask students to care about their own learning. The good news, too, is that K-State is starting to expand into a lot of these high-impact learning practices in the first year in a lot of different ways. Here's one of my favorites. It's the learning community, and this is a little video about our CAT community program here at K-State. And there's no volume. That's Brooke.
Get connected with excellent students and teachers who have similar interests as you. Kickstart your college journey by connecting with other students and faculty in a CAT community. Get to know other first-year students through courses and activities tailored to your interests.
I decided to do a CAT community course as part of the K-State First program because I really believe that a great college experience starts with a great first year. Teaching a CAT community is incredibly rewarding for faculty. You get to talk about interesting things with incredibly inspiring young people, and you get to have fun. And we get to have too little fun in our jobs. This is a way to do it. There's an incredible difference in the students as they go through the CAT community class. They become more confident. They become more accessible. They start to actually engage their own ideas as part of their education, and they become just better decision makers, I think. And it's just all part of them growing up.
Here's how it works. Students who enroll in a CAT community take 3 courses during the fall semester, 2 general education courses and 1 connections course. The best part is that each CAT community consists of 22 first-year students who take these classes together. The Connections course is taught by an outstanding faculty member with the help of an undergraduate learning assistant who serves as a peer mentor. Visit our website to find the perfect CAT community for you. Sign up now. CAT communities, one interest, endless opportunities.
I love these. And I am so sorry. Did you see the $24 million figure up there? I blew it. I blew it. The $24 million figure is that each, is it not up there? There it is. Thank you. This is the part I skipped over in my excitement to get to the CAT communities. This attrition costs not just the students, it costs the university. According to the latest Educational Policy Institute report, this is the amount of money that K-State loses each year because of attrition. Now, this is projected into the future, but that's a lot of money, the $24 million, that we're leaving on the table. And like I said, I think we can fix this. The learning communities are cool because it gets students involved in their learning. They take the learning outside the classroom, and it builds a social and academic support network for them. But it's not just the learning communities. It's also service learning. It's undergraduate research, which I think a lot of us are excited about, where we ask students not just to be consumers, but producers of knowledge. It's study abroad. And yes, I think we should do study abroad in the first year. This is Dr. Laura Cano's Spanish in Action CAT community, where she asked her students to take what they learned in the fall, their first semester here, and apply it in their study abroad trip in Costa Rica in January. But collaborative work, group projects, great mentoring, peer mentoring projects like GPS, terrific, very effective. Flipped classrooms, Kelly's going to tell you about this more tonight. Common learning experiences like the KSBN Reading Project that involves people from all over campus, you know. These are very powerful, very effective. And one that's near and dear to my heart, the first year seminar, which I think is an ideal place to challenge students intellectually, academically, to be their best in a way that doesn't scare them to death. I also think there's more we can do. Sophomore year experience, transfer seminars, and I think we need these practices for all the students. I think there are things that we can do right away. Vary the pace of classes. Tell students why we're teaching them, what we're teaching them, and why it's important. I think we need to challenge our students, but then back it up with a lot of support, guidance, encouragement. And I think we need to care. We need to show them that we care about our discipline, we care about our field, and we need to show them that we care about them and their learning, and that we expect them to care as well. One more thing. I sometimes meet skeptics on campus, and they say things like, well, this all sounds really great, really nice, wonderful, but we can't afford it. It's too expensive, you know, Purdue, Iowa State, they can do that, but not K-State, we can't afford this. But when I think that we're leaving $24 million each and every year on the table, and when I think about our students' futures and how much is at stake there, I think that we can't afford not to care. Thank you.